A picture not worth the proverbial 1,000 words, but a human organ.
Joyce is definitely my savior.
Before he let us off the bus, he also said that he takes kidneys as a tip.
I don't even think I was supposed to work that day.
A warm August day, the 24th, a day changing lives.
If he had not made that joke, none of this would have happened.
Joyce Smith going on an Indy brew bus with Heather Moosh and 2 fellow bridesmaids. It's a group also bonded by a need. Heather needs a kidney, prompting Joyce to spend months to become viable, making countless doctor's visits from Tippecanoe County to St. Vincent in Indianapolis. Only Heather, already a transplant recipient, still isn't healthy enough to be on the list. And Joyce's limited window was closing soon, until that joke.
I can't take my car with me, and I can't take all these organs with me. So whatever I can do now, I want to do.
Those who know Joyce aren't surprised. Between natural-born, adopted, fosters, and guardians, she and her husband James care for 9 kids, one of them a kidney transplant recipient 6 years ago. And Joyce's father got the gift of life in the form of a liver transplant when she was a child.
I just wanted to make the same difference in other kids' lives that I was shown in my life.
That difference now made in Valerie Scott's life. James and Joyce on the left, Valerie and husband Rex Scott on the right, sitting, chatting like old friends. But this conversation, only the 4th time the women have ever met.
It was either dialysis or a transplant.
For 7 years, Valerie has dealt with polycystic kidney disease. Her kidneys now the size of small footballs, still growing but losing function. But for this to work, it takes not just a willing donor, but a match, both blood type and 6 antigens. And that perfect stranger on that bus that day, one of 5 brew buses, one of 5 drivers, was a match. Joyce and her friends were only there because their initial plan fell through.
I think I made that joke and you caught on.
God picked out the best person. He knew what he was doing this whole time, so.
Even though it was a stranger.
Oh yeah, it wasn't a stranger in God's eyes.
Whether you believe in God or not, somebody had a hand in this. There's no way this would have ever worked out otherwise.
There can be some nervous moments for months, hoping that stranger doesn't get a change of heart. But Rex and Valerie say once the initial shock wore off, they never doubted. And for her part, Joyce says she hasn't seen the kidney as hers for months.
Because the day I decided to give it away was the last day that it was mine. So I'm just kind of hanging on to it for someone else after that point.
She doesn't understand how much she's changed my whole life.
The date of the surgeries, January 20th, just 2 weeks ago, the 13-year anniversary of the passing of Joyce's father, on the list again for a transplant. It was also Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Of all the sacrifices to give someone on a day like that is just amazing.
If you got one, give one.